So I wanted to talk today about the season of autumn. We are approaching Samhain, which is for a lot of witches and pagans, the pagan or witches' New Year. And whether you choose to observe a New Year on your own at that time or not, it's definitely a time of the year that it's good to take stock of the changes that have happened in your life and where you're going, and things that you want to work on and incorporate and bring into your life, maybe in ways that you haven't over the past 12 months. And this is actually my favorite time of year, and it seems to be a favorite time of year for a lot of people. I live in New England, and autumn is just a very glorious month here, and it's stunning in the beauty of the death of, or the preparation for slumber of the earth around you. And I think as a witch, it really facilitates honoring the process of where the goddess and the god are in the wheel, and how that mirrors within our own lives. And I think with the changes in my own life over the past year, and there have been some drastic changes and still ongoing changes, I've seen that changing as the seasons and as the Sabbats and Esbats have progressed in my own life, and reevaluating what being a witch means to me. It's not so much about ritual anymore, and it's not that ritual has disappeared, because I'm not saying that, and that's not the case at all. But I think that my rituals have been able to be a lot freer and a lot more personal, and they have more personal meaning to me. And I've also seen several gods and goddesses come in for me over the past few months that I wasn't really thinking that I was going to be working with. And so that's been really interesting too, and my rituals have changed because of that. And it's not that I've lost honor or place of the gods and goddesses that I was working with before for quite some time. It's just that they've allowed some new energies to come in and encourage me and upbuild me and show me where I am on my path, and where everyone is on their path at some point. Just like in tarot, in the major arcana, that's a universal journey, just like Joseph Campbell talks about. And so we're all in certain spaces in those cards. And interestingly enough, the Empress's space has come into my life, and Venus has come in, and I really haven't expected that. So that's been an interesting interplay over the past year. And so this time of year, getting back to what I was talking about with the seasons, especially in New England, it's just really beautiful to see that mirrored, the microcosm and the macrocosm thing mirrored, what's happening on Pachamama being mirrored with what's happening within my own self, my own body, my own being. It's a very beautiful thing that I think I've really come to appreciate in a new way this season. And this is always the time of year when I'm reflecting, and I'm sure it is for a lot of us, about everything, and then focusing on what I want to bring in. And I think for me, a lot of that involves study on my path, on the cards, as well as the work of being a healer. I think really, when you think about the definition of witchcraft, yes, there's the ritual, and there's the accoutrements and all of that, if you want to get into that. But I think really at its essence, it's about healing. And you have to heal yourself first before you can heal others. That's kind of like New Age 101. And we all tend to say that, but are we actually doing it? And I think I've really been thinking about that for myself, because I do feel like part of my path is healing others through Reiki, through tarot and oracle readings, which, by the way, I do feel that tarot and oracle readings are a healing methodology, and they're something that can provide great healing for people if you're open to that. Even if you're coming into a reading just wanting to know if you're going to find true love or get a new job, if you allow the cards and the energies that work with the cards and with the stones that are present for those readings, and you're allowing yourself to be in communication with the person who's doing the reading, or if you're reading for yourself, allowing yourself to be in communication with your higher self, there is a huge healing experience that can happen if you allow it to. But there again, it's all about allowing. I mean, and it's the same with Reiki or anything else. If you're getting a healing session and you're not open to that energy, then you're not going to be healed. So, for me, tarot and oracle cards and readings for myself, and when I give them to others, that's a healing experience. So I've also really been exploring, if at its core, witchcraft means being a healer and exploring all sides of the human journey, all parts of the human journey, the light and the dark and the in-between. The two towers and the center tower that must be there and must be in unison and work together in order for there to be a whole. An intrinsic divinity and all of those things. If healing is at the core of that, and learning is at the core of that, then what kind of a healer am I being? And a lot of that does apply first with ourselves. Are we caring for ourselves? Are we doing the work for ourselves that we would encourage another person to do if they were in our circumstance? So I've been thinking a lot about that. And also, I've really been experiencing the land in a very deep way. As I said, I grew up in New England. I'm living in New England at this point in my life. And growing up, I had a very deep connection with the land as a living being and interacting with it in that way. And, I kind of lost that in my later teenage years, in my early 20s, just being caught up in life as one gets. But moving to this home, which I've been living in since December of last year, the land is really alive here, and that's what drew me to this place. Like I knew no matter what other circumstances that I would be living in this land with the spirits of place that are here, because the energy is so very powerful in where I'm living, and I believe wants to work with me and my husband as well, and any people or energies that come into this space. And so that's been really exciting and helped me to explore witchcraft in a new way, because yes, it's about being a healer. Yes, it's about exploring the human journey, but it's also about our connection with the land. And are we in communication with it? You can be a gardener and an herbalist all you want, but are you in communication with the land and the beings that are on the land and in the land? And so that's been very exciting for me as well. So I really love this season, and I'm finding myself evaluating where I am on my path with witchcraft, with tarot and oracle cards, finding myself in divination in general, because I've been exploring some new avenues, as I've mentioned to some of you, divination-wise in my life. So exploring that and exploring my connection with and my dedication to that path, and still feeling very much that it is my path and inspired by it and driven to make even more changes that make my path more my own. I'm definitely not, I'm taking some workshops this fall, some metaphysical workshops, but I'm still definitely feeling very drawn that my path is solitary. And I think that it's solitary because I'm healing some past lives where some damage has been done, and so, and in this life, and so the positivity of and the strength of a solitary path is still very beautiful and worthy to me to be following. So I think that's kind of all I wanted to share. Just try to put into words what autumn means to me and what Mabon and Samhain really mean to me, and what celebrating them and honoring those Sabbats are really about for me, because it's not so much about the ritual. I mean, this is my fall altar, but it's really not so much about ritual as it is about going within and really working with Hecate. I think these seasons are a lot about that. And then as we go into November and December, still that going within and doing the inner work and exploring and examining our shadow sides, and what we tell ourselves that maybe isn't serving us any longer. So I'm really enjoying exploring that, and I always do every year, and I always come out of this time feeling very changed and renewed, and with a clear sense of what the work is for me. So that's what autumn and these two Sabbats really, really mean to me, and I would love to hear what they mean for all of you as well. But I just wanted to share that before I get into my intro to Oracle cards, which is coming. I'm going to be filming that after I get done with this video. It's just a series that I really needed to kind of sink my teeth into before I started talking about it in a concrete way that people can actually benefit from, others can actually benefit from. So I will see you in those videos, and thank you for watching. Bye.